Hello everybody, I'm Thomas, and welcome back to the fourth video of my solo Fallout 2d20 RPG playthrough series, where we will be picking up where we left off last episode with the adventures of Marbash. So last episode, we ended with starting a new day and heading off to Sanctuary, so that's where we're going to pick up now. We woke up around 6 or so, and then it took about 2.5 hours to get to Sanctuary from my rough estimates. So it's about 8:30 in the morning as we roll up to Sanctuary. And there's two main ways that you can see kind of the map here of getting into Sanctuary. It's kind of on an island. You have the main bridge out front, and then you also have a smaller bridge in the back that kind of leads towards the vault. So it's kind of secluded, pretty cool place. I can understand why the Minutemen would want to go here, because if they can kind of fortify it, pretty easily defendable spot because you only got really 2 spots to worry about. So we're going in through the front bridge, and I guess as I slowly walk up, do I see any sign of the Minutemen? And that's going to be a really good question. So I guess that's just a fake question. Is there signs of the Minutemen? I think it's I almost want to say near certain, because I know they're coming here. I know they were just seen here like literally yesterday, like walking to this area. So I'm going to go with nearly certain. I think that's safe to say. I mean, if they're not up in this front area, maybe they're back or somewhere around. But like, I think the Minutemen are here. Let's see. Are they kind of in this front area anywhere? No. Okay. So there's no sign of them. Then I'm curious, what do I see? You know, there's this kind of bridge. I imagine it's pretty run down. Do I see like a lot of ghouls? Do I see? Yeah, I don't know. What do I see? Like any threat in Sanctuary? Does it look like it's all clear? I imagine it's not all clear. So do I see? Yeah, let's just say, do I see like a lot of ghouls in Sanctuary? Like, is that kind of the big threat that needs dealt with that the Minutemen are going to be clearing out? So do I see a bunch of ghouls? Is my question. No, nothing is like it seems, I guess, in this dang game. Okay, so the Minutemen aren't here, and I don't see a bunch of ghouls. So I guess it looks clear, at least in the bridge so far. So I guess it looks pretty safe to enter Sanctuary. So I guess I have to assume the Minutemen are probably in there if they're in this area. So I guess I just kind of with my new modified baseball bat at the ready, just slowly make my way across the bridge and into Sanctuary proper. So I guess as I make my way into Sanctuary, I don't know if I want to start like yelling to try to find the Minutemen, because that might like attract unnecessary attention, but at the same time, I don't know. So as I make my way more into Sanctuary, do I see the Minutemen anywhere? I'm going to once again go with nearly certain. I think they have to be around somewhere. If they weren't outside, they might have made their way in already. Are they around somewhere? Yes. Okay, good. We have found the Minutemen. Awesome. Okay, so I guess I see somebody, and I probably just try to get their attention in a non-hostile way. I maybe put like my baseball bat, you know, in my bag or something, or at least to my side. And yeah, I just try to like kind of calmly approach, try to get their attention, be like, hello there. And trying to like wave them down and kind of like, you know, maybe hold up my hands even, be like, I come in peace. I'm not trying to hurt you. And yeah, so we have found the Minutemen, and I assume, so I go up and talk to whoever I see, which, who do I see? Is it the leader? I'm gonna go with very likely that it's the leader of the Minutemen. Yes, okay, which looks like the current leader of the little group of Minutemen is Preston Garvey. So I assume that's who I see. So I go up and introduce myself. I say, hello there, are you the Minutemen? And he's like, it depends who's asking. Maybe something like that. Maybe like not hostile, but maybe a bit more cautious. Like, you know, it depends who's asking. And I was like, well, you know, my name's Marbash. just kind of a wanderer in the area, trying to, help people out where I can. And I talked to Trudy down at Drumwood Diner. She mentioned that you were in the museum. I went to the museum. You weren't there. And I heard you came here, so now I'm here to help y'all out, is kind of what I tell Preston. And I guess we kind of just start talking. So before we get too far into this conversation, I do want to, at least while I'm thinking about it, cross off my figure out where the Minutemen are thread, because at this point, found out where they are, and this quest was kind of figure out where they are and then go to them. So that's what I've done. So I think it's safe to cross off. And since that was a minor quest, let's see, and I am level 2 right now, I will get 60 experience for that. All right, so yeah, I get some XP as I finally have found the Minutemen. I start talking with Preston. So, at least in the book, and I guess kind of in the game, there's mainly, I think, just there's 4 people to this little group of Minutemen. There's Preston, the leader. There is, let's see, his handyman Sturgis, a scared couple named Marcy and Jun Long, and then, of course, Mama Murphy, who's the chem addict. So we'll say that all of them are there. They're probably just kind of nearby, but Preston is the one I see first and kind of call out to. And so I'm chatting with. So yeah, I tell him my whole story and kind of what I've been up to and what led me here. And he's probably, I imagine, very relieved to hear that A, I'm not a threat to him currently, and B, that I'm here to help, which is probably something that he's not too accustomed with. So one question I'm curious about is I'm be like, okay, well, I went to the museum to try to find you all and you weren't there. What happened? We heard, at least what the word that I got was that you were held up inside by a group of raiders. I think what makes the most sense in my mind is just the raiders got bored and left, because maybe they were just held up so much that like after a couple hours or maybe like, a half day, a day or so, nothing like crazy long, that the raiders were just like, we're not getting in. We got better things to do. Let's just bounce. So what happened at the museum? Was it just that the raiders left after a while? I think it's very likely, but let's see what Mythic says. No, what is going on with these rolls? I thought it was very likely. I guess not. Okay. Okay, so I guess if they didn't just leave, then there was no sign of a fight. So if they didn't just leave on their own accord, that leaves 2 kind of options in my mind then. That why would these raiders leave if they knew that there's this group of people inside with all this loot and all of that? I think either if they didn't just leave, either A, they got scared away by something, either by another group or maybe like death claws or something, some creatures, or maybe just like, we got to get out of here. Or maybe the Minutemen somehow convinced them to leave. They're like, we're not worth messing with. There's only a couple of us. We don't have any good loot. Those are kind of the 2 options in my head that make the most sense. So let me ask Mythic on one of them. Did the raiders leave the Minutemen alone because they were run off by like some creature or something? Like something kind of scared them away? I don't know. We'll go with very likely, because I think it's a little bit more likely than the other option I have, which is just the Minutemen convinced them to leave, which doesn't seem the most likely. So let's see. Was it that there was something outside? And it's an exceptional no. Maybe just the Minutemen must have either convinced them either that A, they didn't really have much of anything, and B, I mean, maybe they were just trying to bluff and threaten their way out. They're like, we got a lot of guns and we don't have much, but we have, grenades and all of this, and we could take you out. So I guess whatever happened there, it was pretty much just the Minutemen somehow talked the raiders down, either by threatening them or persuading them. That's how they dealt with it, I guess. That's what Mythic says. So, okay. Yeah, I guess that's what happened at the museum. So I was like, okay, well, good to know. That's not what I thought happened, but okay, I guess that's what happened. That those raiders are just kind of, I don't know, kind of wimps. But maybe that, I mean, obviously that's a good thing in this like scenario, but okay. Well, now that I'm here, I asked Preston, like, what's the deal? What brings you to Sanctuary? And I imagine he mentions, you know, he's trying to get the Minutemen. This is stuff I could ask Mythic, but I'm just gonna kind of assume, like, he's trying to get the Minutemen back up and running, and that Sanctuary, he heard, was a pretty, like, defendable place just because of its, like, geographic, you know, with the water around and it being kind of like an island. There's only 2 main points of entry. It could be a good spot to have, like, a headquarters at. So he's like, this is the reason why we came to Sanctuary. So I guess, well, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm here to help. Like, what can I do to help get Sanctuary in order? Okay, so then I guess let me ask then, is there any, like, is Sanctuary already cleared? Like, is it safe, or is this stuff that needs cleared out? So is Sanctuary already safe? I'm gonna go with unlikely. Like, I think there's still stuff that needs cleared out, but let's ask, is Sanctuary already, like, safe and clear, or is there like more that needs done? So yeah, I'm gonna go with very unlikely, is that it's safe at the moment. They probably just got there yesterday. So is Sanctuary safe? This came back, no, it's not safe. So I think I take that to mean is that there's just some sort of creatures still around and whatnot, causing a nuisance, and it's just hasn't been cleared out yet and kind of fortified, at least with the 2 main entrances and, like, bridges and whatnot. So, okay, I'm gonna ask, I imagine there's probably a combination of, like, different creatures and whatnot, but is it primarily, like, ghouls? Because that's kind of what makes most sense. Like, if this was a residential area, so if there were residents that didn't make it inside Vault 111, there's gonna be a lot of ghouls in this area. Is that what needs cleared out, is a lot of ghouls? And we'll go very likely that it's a whole bunch of ghouls. No, it's not ghouls. Okay. So then it's probably not a bunch of mole rats. We'll just say it's probably just a bunch of random stuff like insects and other kind of creatures. I don't think it makes sense that it's, like, raiders, really. Well, I guess maybe I can ask, like, is it raiders that are here? I'm gonna go with unlikely, because right now it seems like raiders are kind of, they have Concord, and they have, pretty sure raiders are pretty active in Lexington too. So, like, the 2 big cities, they probably leave this area alone, but who knows? I mean, rotten raiders are pretty active on Abernathy Farm, so, and that's pretty close by. So is it raiders that is the issue here in Sanctuary? So I think it's unlikely, but let's ask Mythic. Exceptional no again, man. Okay, so it's definitely not raiders. And maybe exceptional no, like, maybe there's some, like, dead raider bodies around here, if, like, raiders have come here in the past and just died to whatever. But no. Okay, so it's not ghouls, not raiders. Okay, so I've been kind of trying to figure out what's going on in Sanctuary. So if it's not ghouls roaming around, if it's not raiders that have taken over, I kind of like the idea, and I'm just going to kind of go with this, and I'm not even going to, like, ask Mythic. I like the idea that maybe there are a couple of Protectron robots roaming around Sanctuary. I don't know where from nearby. Maybe, I mean, oh, okay, there's a robotics disposal ground right up here. I didn't even realize that. So maybe someone was trying to throw them away and they still worked, and then kind of have just been roaming around, roamed to Sanctuary, and have just been there kind of just killing stuff, maybe. I don't know. But maybe they're kind of, someone took them to the disposal ground because maybe they're acting up, and then they just kind of wandered to Sanctuary. But yeah, I like the idea that there's just a couple of Protectron robots roaming around Sanctuary, and that the Minutemen have spotted and are trying to figure out a plan for. So I think that is what's going on. So I'm going to create a new thread list, I guess, or a new thread for defeating the Protectrons. Yeah. All right, so a new thread, defeat the Protectrons in Sanctuary. I mean, by the implication of that, Protectrons, so I think there are multiple of them. I think somewhere between the range of like, maybe like 2 and 5. Like, I imagine there's a small group of them. Nothing crazy, not like an army of them, but like at least 2, no more than 5, so like 2, 3, or 4 of them is basically what I'm guessing. And so I imagine we'll just say there's 4 of them, and that yeah, maybe there's like there's 4 of them, but they're kind of split up, and there's like one kind of in one area, one kind of in another area, and then 2 kind of together in a separate area. So there's like 3 separate areas with the 4 Protectrons kind of spread out. So I'm trying to think of who's all in the Minutemen here with me. So Preston, I imagine, is Preston and Sturges. There's also the couple. I think I'm trying to think of who's fighting here, because obviously I'm fighting. I don't think Mama Murphy. I don't think she's probably fights too much. But at the same time, like, what else, if she doesn't fight, what else is she gonna do? So I say I can go try to handle the group of the 2, and then they all split up in groups of 2 and try to get the other one. So it should be like 2 Minutemen to 1 robot. They do that, and then I handle 2 robots by myself. So I claim I think that's okay, and I think I was like, well, that's the plan. Let's try to get rid of these robots. I think I can handle 2. You all take care of the other 2 and split up, and I think we should be good. At least I hope. So that's the plan. And I think with this all going down in Sanctuary, that I probably could create a new scene. Like, this whole scene was for the journey to there and me kind of looking for the Minutemen. Maybe it would have made sense to, maybe I'll kind of retroact the scene a little back. Like, maybe once I started talking, like once I found the Minutemen, I started talking with them and Preston. Like, that's probably where a new scene started. And maybe if not at that point, then at least now when we're like discussing this plan to get rid of the Protectrons. So I guess I'll create a new scene real fast. All right, new scene created. Work with the Minutemen to clear the Protectrons. Still pretty sunny out. Still early in the morning. I fast forward time a little bit, so it's probably like I got there around 8:30, so it's probably been a solid 10-20 minutes with me trying to find the Minutemen, talk with them, see what's going on, and kind of get to this point where we're starting to make a plan to deal with these Protectrons. We're still in Sanctuary, and all that is good. With a new scene, I do have to adjust the chaos factor. I think it goes up because we got here fine, but then stuff was not going at all, at least how I anticipated it. I mean, the character's mostly been in control, but like I thought the Minutemen would be outside the Sanctuary, and they weren't. I thought it was gonna be overrun with ghouls. It wasn't. I thought this was happening at the museum. It wasn't. So it was like I guess all my assumptions were wrong, but the character was mostly in control, so kind of in a weird spot. I think though it does go up, so we'll say that the chaos rank is currently chaos factor is currently 4. Okay, I also just while I was thinking about it decided to add everybody I've met to the NPC list, so I have them all on here. Preston, Sturges. I put Marcy and June along as just one item. Because they're married, they're kind of just one item, but like obviously they're separate people, but it's fine. I have the whole Abernathy family as one, so like it's fine. Then of course Mama Murphy, and I think I was kind of thinking about this. I do think I want to leave Minutemen on here as its own separate entity, so then something can kind of happen with the Minutemen as a whole, or some of the individual members of the group. So I think that works, and I will go ahead and save that. So yeah, with this new scene, I'm kind of talking with the Minutemen, trying to figure out a plan, figure out how many robots there are, and they're like, there's 4. Figure out kind of where they are at the moment, and they're like, oh, one's kind of over there, one's over there, and 2 of them are kind of grouped up over there. And I was like, okay, I'll kill the 2 over there. You all split up, 2 on one, 2 on the other, and we'll take care of these robots and hopefully start getting Sanctuary in a working condition. Yeah, so I think that's the plan. Let's just start doing it. So I'm trying to think, what do I probably want my I probably don't want my baseball bat out at least immediately. I probably want to use my pipe gun to get the first shot. Unless I think I could sneak up on these robots and hit them with a baseball bat. But I think maybe I'll go with the pipe gun and see if I can at least get the jump on them and then kind of switch out my weapons once I need to start closing distance and whatnot. But these Protectrons, I'm pretty sure have guns, so I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a sneak test to see if I can get within range for my pipe gun to just start shooting at these guys. I imagine, since I'm just trying to get within range for just my gun and not my baseball bat, I'm not gonna need to get all that close, so it should be relatively easy. I'm gonna set the difficulty at 1, and then I am gonna spend an action point to go ahead and buy an extra D20. So I just need 1 success here to see if I can get and sneak up close enough to get within range of my pipe gun to kind of initiate combat. So let's see what happens. Oh, nat 1, let's go. Okay. So I need 1 success. So I did generate 2 action points, but there also was a complication. How does that work? Because I did the thing, but I also didn't do the thing. Because if I'm trying to sneak, the only complication I can really think off the top of my head is that I wasn't doing a good job at sneaking and they heard me. Let me think on this for a second, see if I can come up with some other complication than just, oh, the robots heard me. Okay, so I think the best I can think of, just something kind of simple that's not just they heard me, is that maybe I've sneaked into range, but now at least one of the robots is, like, at least where I'm positioned, kind of obscured for my vision, so I only have like sights from where I'm currently at on one of them. I like to think that maybe this is kind of a suburban area, so there's probably, you know, some cars and stuff in the road, and I'm kind of picturing these robots just kind of patrolling the road, just kind of roaming the neighborhood. So I'm picturing myself kind of like ducking into a bush nearby or like behind a car or something, and just I'm within range. They didn't hear me, but I only have a shot, at least a clear shot on one of them at the moment. So we'll say that's what's going on, and let me get some tokens in as I initiate some combat. All right, so we're fighting these 2 Protectrons. If you don't remember what they look like, they're kind of like these looking dudes. They kind of look like a thumb or whatever. Yeah, they have some like arm lasers. I guess they also have claws and a self-destruct feature, which I guess I need to be worried about. But yeah, so sneak up on these guys, get within range for my pipe gun. They don't hear me, but I only have a clear line, at least at the moment, on one of them. Okay, so I get a full round of action. So I think at least where I'm at, I'm going to minor action, aim, major action, shoot at the one I can see, which we'll just say it's the top one, doesn't really matter. And yeah, I'm going to shoot with my pipe gun. Hopefully I can hit. Okay, so with my turn, since I have initiative, or at least like I got a surprise round, I'm going to aim as my bonus action with my pipe gun and try to shoot at one of them. I am going to get 2 extra D20. It's going to cost me 3 action points, but my shooting score is really low, and I think I'm just going to shoot and then after this run up to them so that I can just use my baseball bat the rest of the time. But I will also, I'm aiming, so I can re-roll 1, but let's see if this is worth it. And I can always regenerate stuff if I need it, but okay. I was aiming, so I'm at least going to re-roll the 19 to maybe try to get some extra action points back. Oh, that was almost a 2, and then instead it was another complication. Okay, so I do, well, let me see, what's their defense? Their defense is 1, so I do generate an action point back, but I do suffer a complication, which, hold on. Okay, I like the idea that maybe I was a bit too trigger happy, and I'm going to basically just, my complication, maybe I just waste some bullets, I guess would maybe make sense. So yeah, let me just roll damage. So by default, I roll 3, and then it has a fire rate of 2, so I should be able to spend 5 dice. I think I can't add any more onto that, right? No, but I can re-roll with luck, and which I might do. So let's roll this and see how many I hit the top one for, and I might re-roll some. Okay. I can re-roll up to 3 with 1 luck point, so I will spend a luck point to re-roll the 2 blank ones. I do have an effect with that. No, I think I'll keep it and just re-roll the 2 blank ones. Okay, that's a lot better. 7 damage and 2 effects. And where did I hit it? I don't even remember where I was aiming. So I was aiming at its right arm. And yeah, I'm hitting it for 7. Which, while that's not bad damage, these things have 4 physical resistance like everywhere. So it's not really taken too much. It's only taken 3 damage out of it's only taken 3 damage, so it's at 5 out of 8, which is not great. I'm kind of worried about these guys now, but okay, so I kind of pop from behind the car, shoot at the one a couple of times, and I guess let me also, while I'm thinking about it, subtract my bullets. So I fired once, twice, 3 times because I did 2 extra for my fire rate, and then I also fired a 4th time because of the complication. So I'm only down to 15 bullets, basically 4 shots, like real fast. And I still have my movement left because I did my interaction and action. I still have my move. So I think I will then, because I think I'm relatively close to them. I'm within, I don't know what the range is, but not close, but just short range, I guess. Medium. Like I'm probably in the same zone, I would argue. Like I'm just not super close, but I imagine I'm just gonna run up to him now. And I can't switch out my weapons, but I think like on my next turn, that's what I'm gonna do is switch out my weapons and swing with my baseball bat, I guess. Okay, so then we're in normal initiative order, which this top one is going first. And I think now that I'm kind of up in its face, it normally has its arm lasers that it would use if it was at a distance, but I think it has its claw ability that it's going to use since I'm a lot closer now. So let's see what happens here as this top one tries to use its claw ability against me. My defense is still probably just 1, so it just needs to get 1 success. Is it able to do that? Probably. It got 2 successes, so it generated an extra action point for the old GM. Okay, so then it's gonna do the damage, and yeah, I guess it's just doing it. And this is a melee attack, right? Because maybe it would do extra damage. Now we'll save the action points to do something cool. So yeah, we'll just roll the damage and see what happens. So where am I also getting hit? I didn't even see. On my right arm, I'm taking 3 damage, which I should have some armor on. Yeah, I do have 1 physical resistance, so I'm only taking 2 damage. So honestly, not the worst. And then the next Protectron is going to attack me, trying to reach out with its claws. See if it does it. Probably. Oh, I got a nat 1 and a natural 20. So it's gonna be another overseer point. Yeah, this time it's gonna use that action point immediately to do some extra damage. The complication, I don't know. It's just attacking with its claws. I don't really know what a good complication off the top of my head. So you know what? I'm just not gonna do one. And I'll just roll an extra damage for them as they deal 5 damage to my head. Ow, it's kind of rude. I have no physical protection on my head, so I'm down to already 8 damage, and I've barely damaged one of them. This isn't good, but it's back to my turn. I used my minor action to switch out my pistol for my baseball bat, and I'm mad, so I'm gonna go up and try to, as my main action, swing at the one that I've already hit with the gun, one that's already weakened a little bit. So let me see if I can swing with my baseball bat. I definitely will spend an action point to roll an extra d20. And let's see how this goes, I guess. Where am I hitting them? In the torso. And I do successfully hit them, and I generate myself an action point. And that's great. So then I guess I can swing doing my damage, and I don't think I need to do extra damage because I'm probably gonna kill him. You know what? I'll play it safe. I'll spend an action point to at least do 1 more damage dice. So 8 damage dice. Let's see how much this is gonna do. Hopefully a lot, maybe not. 8 damage total. And is that enough? 8 damage total. They have 4 physical resistance. I thought it was 3, 4. So that means they're only taking 4 damage. This one still has 1 HP. But you know what? I'm feeling like my hit was a little bit luckier than that. And you know what? I'm going to spend a luck point to reroll 2 of these. I just need 1 more damage. That's all I need from these 2. Just one of them be a damage. There we go. That's all I needed. That is it. 9, because 4 blocked is 5. And with 1 massive swing, I take down one of the Protectrons. It just kind of crumbles to the ground. As I, where did I hit it? I guess in its torso. I just kind of bash in its torso with my, what do I have? My sharp baseball bat. So the thing goes to the ground. All right, 1 is down. That's a good sign. I was starting to get a little worried. I think I can live this fight. So then I guess this other one is just going to, it's back to its turn. I think it's just going to try to claw attack me again. And yeah, you know what? Let's spend an action point and give it an extra D20, because it just saw its robot friend go down and it's maybe entering, I don't know, like fight or flight mode, where it's like just trying to focus in as it realizes it's like, oh, my robot friend just went down. This might not be going too good for me. So let's see, can they hit me? That looks like an absolutely big old yes. And they generated 3 action points in the process, which then they're absolutely going to spend at least 1 of them to do some extra damage to me. So where am I getting hit? Please don't be my head. Okay, my right arm again. So let's see how much damage I'm taking. Oh, no damage, right? Because I have my armor on my right-hand side, so I have some physical damage reduction. Yeah, so I am safe. As this thing just tries to claw at me, and it hits my, what do I even have? My drifter outfit. It kind of just scrapes my drifter outfit, and I barely get by without taking any damage. And then it's back to my turn, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm ready. So I take my minor action to aim my baseball bat. And I'm like, nah, this guy's done for. And I, minor action aim. And as my action, I'm just gonna swing at this thing. Do I want to spend an extra D20? I don't think so. So I'm not doing, I have a couple action points, but not really. So I think I'll just kind of roll normally. We'll just see what happens. I didn't take any damage, so I'm not like in a life-threatening position, at least at the moment. So let's see if I can take out this guy with just this. No, but I did aim. So I can at least reroll 1 of these, but that's not really good. Oh, but it is that's enough to at least get because they only have 1 defense, so I'll still hit them, but I'm not generating any extra action points. Okay, yeah, so I think I will spend an action point to roll an extra dice. I hope I don't already just minus that, but yeah, let's see if I can take this guy out in 1 hit. So I am hitting them. I'm hitting them on the head. Will I be able to take them out in 1 hit? Probably not. So 6 damage. It's definitely not gonna do too much. They have 4 physical damage resistance. That's crazy. So they only took 2 damage from that hit. Which is something, but obviously they have 8 health, so it's gonna be a little bit longer till they're down. But swing at them with my baseball, I hit them right in the head, but their heavy armor kind of just clunks against it and does some damage. But it really seems like this robot's still kicking, and I guess it's gonna just try to attack at me with its claws again. Yeah, I think we'll just have it do another claw attack, because it's just I'm in its face. It's like doesn't know what to do. So we'll say it's gonna roll another D20 just because they have a lot of action points. Why not? Let's just let them hit me if they can. Oh, they can. Okay, but they're not gonna do extra damage this time. So they did hit me for another just 1 damage on the left leg this time. It's trying to go for a little bit of a lower swipe, and once again, my drifter outfit, I believe covers my legs too, right? My left leg is covered, hopefully. Yeah, left leg has some physical resistance, so I'm chilling. Tries to swipe at me, and once again, it barely catches like the armor and my outfit, and I'm like, nope, nice try. And that's back to my turn. And of course, minor action, I'm aiming with my baseball bat again. And as my action, I'm just going to swing at this stupid robot, trying to hit it. So let's see if I can hit it. Since I'm aiming, I'm not going to buy any extra d20. Just hoping for the best at this point. Man, I'm getting some bad rolls. So let me re-roll at least one of them because I'm aiming. And that's still not anything. I might use a luck point to re-roll one more time. Down my last luck point, but let's see if it was worth it. That is a success. I did hit him, so that's something. So now I can do more damage, and I think I will spend another action point to do some extra damage. 8 dice, let's see how much I can do. That looks pretty good. That's not enough, is it though? I could spend my luck point to try to... I think this is also like the first time I've actually used my luck points, and they should be refreshing pretty often, so that's kind of on me. Do I spend my last luck point? I think I do, because I only need 1 more damage to kill him, because they have 4 physical resistance, and they have 6 health, so I basically need to do... I guess it's still... This isn't even really that close. Nah, I'm not gonna use my last luck point. I'll wait out 1 more round. So 7 damage to him, and where did I hit him? Their right leg. So I go a little bit, they try to get my leg, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get your leg. So I go for a little bit of a low swing, or maybe as I'm like swinging at them, they kind of take a step back or something, so I kind of hit their leg. And yeah, I deal 3 more damage to them, and they're looking pretty rough at this point. Maybe I hit their leg and they kind of stumble, but then it just gets back up, and yeah. It's just coming at me with its metallic claws again, so I have to deal with this claw attack again. Let's see if it can hit me. I'm not taking any extra d20s this time. That does hit me and generates them an extra d20, which just go ahead and say it uses on some extra damage because it hasn't been doing much damage, so I'm not worried. Yeah, that's only just 1 damage to, where is that, my torso? That only has 1 physical, right? So yeah, I am taking another damage as its metallic claws kind of slice against my torso, and the armor does protect me some, but it manages to kind of cut through, and I'm starting to bleed a little bit, but I'm getting mad, and I'm just have the baseball bat ready, so minor action, I aim again, and as my action, I just swing at this stupid robot, hopefully taking it out. I think this should be the round, as long as I can hit it. That looks good. I did get a success. I do have my reroll, so I'll reroll the 12. That was almost a 5. Okay, an 18, whatever. Still hit it. 1 success is all I needed. So I can roll for damage, which I'm not going to do any extra damage. I'm just going to roll this and hope for the best. So let's see. Yikes. I don't even do enough damage to hit him. Maybe this is a point where I use my luck points, because they have 4 physical resistance, so I did like a -1 damage. Like, it hurt me. Not really though. But that sucks. Yeah, I tried to hit it where in its left arm, and I guess maybe like it's probably, you know, it doesn't have like the thickest arms. They probably, you know, move around a decent amount. So maybe like I hit it and it kind of bounces off its like shoulder or something, and it scrapes it, but doesn't seem to actually do any damage, at least against the metallic of its like shoulder pad or whatever. So this thing is just it keeps going though. It's going to metallic claw attack me again. Will it hit me? I think it's hit me every time, so I would be surprised. Okay, yeah, it's hitting me again. Barely, just barely, but it is hitting me. How much damage is this doing? So it's hitting me in the right leg. It's gonna do 2 damage, I guess, as my armor on my leg blocks 1 of that. And yeah, I'm starting to not look too great, down to 5 health, but I'm hanging on. I'm doing okay, and this robot's not doing too great either, so I'm feeling okay about that. So I could keep fighting. I think what I'm going to do is do the first aid action to heal myself. So let me make sure this is what I want to do. Yeah, so I don't really have a minor action to do, and I'm just going to, as a major action, make a medicine test and try to heal up my injuries, which I think is something I could just do. Like, it's an action I can do. I don't have any injuries, but like one of the things this test can do is heal HP, so I think I can do it. And I do, because of my faster healing, since I'm healing my own injuries, I do get I think I get an extra d20 because of my faster healing abilities whenever. Oh, that's different. That's for an endurance plus survival when I'm treating my own injuries. Ooh. Well, that's okay. I still will at least get the 2d20, right? But I think it might be harder because I'm treating my own injuries. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, it is an increased difficulty because I'm treating injuries on myself, but since the difficulty is 0, it's only going to be 1 now. So I think I'm just going to roll it and see what happens. Difficulty of 1, I do get a success, so then on a success, I can heal HP equal to my medicine ranking, which medicine right now is 3, so I can heal up 3 HP. Don't know if that was really worth it. If they do more than 3 HP, it really wasn't, but I'd feel a little bit better having more than 5 hit points going forward. And I guess I could like move away, but then they're just gonna attack me. I know they have those arm lasers, so there's really nothing I could do with like my minor actions. So yeah, I guess I'll just pass. And let a claw attack me again, and let's see if it hits. It's probably going to, because it did every time. No, it didn't. There we go. I just got to complain about it, and then it will mess up. So it tries to swing at me. Where's it trying to swing at my head? And I kind of just duck out of the way real fast, and robot doesn't hit me. Now that I'm all healed up, I use my minor action to aim, and I'm swinging my baseball bat at this thing. No extra d20s, just rolling, hoping for the best. That's good, but that's also a complication, because I think on melee stuff, I have complications on 19 and 20. I'm pretty sure that's the thing I have, or maybe I don't, because I was thinking about grabbing something and then it had that. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't know how to do, let me look up maybe. Okay, so yeah, I think because I took one of the perks as my starting wanderer thing, one of the things I have is that basically I have complications on 19 or 20, which I was looking at the complications for melee weapons, and I do kind of like the one that maybe this attack will be successful, but then I overextended myself, so my defense rating will be down. And yeah, that sounds good to me. So let's just see if I am able to do some damage to this guy, and maybe finish him off. How much damage do I need to try to do? So they have 4 armor, so I need to try to 7 damage is what I'm aiming for. With 7 dice, I'm gonna have to use my last luck to see if I can hit him, because I'm overextending myself here for this. So let's see. Oh, I guess I do have I did aim, didn't I? Did I use that aim already? I don't think I did. So I should be able to reroll that 19. And maybe I didn't overextend. And I even got another action point. Great. I'll keep that action point. I'm not gonna roll any extra damage, and I will just swing with my baseball bat and hope I do 7 damage, I guess is what I'm really looking for here. That's exactly 7 damage. There we go. Where do I hit this guy? And it's right leg. Okay, so I aim up and I'm trying to like just topple this robot. So I aim at its right leg, just smash it. And I can just hear like the metal crunching, and someone just like a little bit of like a circuit kind of explodes, like little sparks and whatnot, as its like leg just crumples and it just falls to the ground, and kind of just a heap of metal as this thing goes down. And with that, I guess I am out of initiative. Well, first things first, I do get 24 XP per robot, so I get 48 total, which brings me up to 133 XP, which is almost halfway to the next level, but hey, it's something. Okay, and now that we got 2 dead robots, they have the ability to be salvaged. It says scavengers can salvage from a destroyed Protectron with a successful intelligence plus science test with a difficulty of 1. It yields 2 combat dice units of common material with plus 1 combat dice per action point spent. And each effect yields an uncommon material. So that's pretty cool. So I need to do an intelligence plus science test with a difficulty of 1 to see how I can salvage one of the bots. I guess I could do this twice. So science plus intelligence, a pretty good skill. Yeah, I guess I'll just roll. I don't think if anything, I'll spend action points on the actual salvaging, not for rolling, because it's only difficulty 1. So let's see how this goes. And that is nothing. Great. So Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna use one of my luck points and reroll that 19 because I'd like to maybe pass this. Maybe I still won't, but okay, cool. So I did at least salvage one of the robots. So I get, what was it? 2 combat dice and an extra per action point spent. So I'll spend at least 1 action point and be able to roll 3. And I basically get that many units of common material, and if I get any effects, then I get that many uncommon material. So let's see what I get. Hopefully a little bit of both. Cool. So that means I get 3 common material and 1 uncommon material. All right, so I've added that to my gear, and then I guess I'll go ahead and try to loot the other robot by doing the same thing. Do a science test. I'm not going to add any additional d20. There we go. That's really what I wanted. I needed those extra action points. So I'll get 2 action points, and I'll spend one of them once again just to do some extra looting. So I'll be able to roll 3 dice, and let's see what I can loot from this other robot. Okay, so I get 2 uncommon and 2 common material. At least I think that's how that works. All right, so I took out those 2 protectrons. Wasn't the easiest fight in the world, but we got there. I guess when we go ahead and delete them out of the little thing over here, and then I'm gonna probably go wander over to the other 2 groups, because I guess we have 2 groups of 2 Minutemen, ideally focusing each on 1 robot. Hopefully they were able to take them out pretty easily. Let me go check on the group that's not Preston. So I imagine maybe the couple went together, and then what's her face? The Mama Murphy went with Preston. That's kind of how I imagine they split up. So let me go check on the couple first, because I think Preston could probably handle himself. Mama Murphy, I don't know how good she is in combat. This couple is kind of unknown to me. Oh, I guess we also have Sturgis. So I guess we have, what, 5 people? Have we been just counting it as 4? Because I guess we have 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, oops. I was forgetting about somebody. I was forgetting about Sturgis. So maybe Sturgis went with a couple, and then Mama Murphy went with Preston, because Preston maybe is pretty combat experienced. So let me check on the group of 3 with the couple and Sturgis and see how they're coming along, and if they've taken out the robot or not. And let me ask Mythic, I guess. Have they taken out the robot? Which I think at this, we'll go with very likely. There's 2 of them, 1 robot, or there's 3 of them in this group, right? Yeah, I'm saying the group with the married couple and Sturgis, were they able to at least take out the 1 Protectron? I mean, I think so. Exceptionally, yes. Yeah, maybe they had a really easy time with it. Maybe they're not the most combat experienced, but they found some way to kind of trick the robot, maybe by like pushing it down like a sewer. I don't know, doing some weird stuff that they were able to take it out really easily, more like quicker than they were anticipating. So cool. So I kind of regroup up with them, and we'll say also probably a little bit of time has passed. Like it's probably a little bit, that fight at least probably took 10 minutes, so it's probably at least 9 o'clock now. Yeah, I group up with them. They're like, yeah, it went super smoothly, took out the bot, we're all good here. And I'm like, great. So now it's me, the couple, and Sturgis. We got a nice group of 4. Let's go check on Mama Murphy and Preston to see if they were able to take out the robot. And if not, I mean, it would be a 6v1, so I imagine we'd be able to do it pretty easily. But let's see. Was Preston and Mama Murphy able to take out the Protectron on their own? We'll just go likely. No, we'll go very likely again. I think it's very likely, but it's not certain. Who knows? Mythic knows, I guess, but exceptional. Yes, man. I struggled. I mean, maybe because of the 1v2 and everybody else, you know, had some help, but yeah, I guess Preston is probably pretty combat, has a lot of experience, so was able to take care of the Protectrons. Well, I guess the single one pretty easily. I don't know what Mama Murphy did. I don't know if she helped, but probably she helped at least a little bit. And yeah, I guess all 4 Protectrons have been killed, and Sanctuary is on its way to becoming reestablished and a more safe place. So that's cool. And that completes this minor quest of defeating the Protectrons in Sanctuary. I took out my 2, the other groups took out the other 2, so we're good there. So that is another minor quest complete, which should be another, what is that, 60 experience. 60 experience puts us up to 193, about 100 away from leveling up, which should be pretty cool. Maybe that'll happen next session. But we can go ahead and clear this out and update that and breathe a sigh of relief, as I have found the Minutemen. They're all alive, well, at least the group that I found. I'm sure they started out as a bigger group and have slowly been dwindling, but I at least have found this group of Minutemen that I've heard about, figured out that they were in the museum, and then they intimidated the raiders or bluffed their way out of getting out of the museum, came here, figured out they figured out there were robots here that we had to go take down, took down the robots, and now we're in maybe a pretty good spot. I think, I mean, I found them, we're in sanctuaries, getting clear. This is looking good. I'm pretty happy with how this is going so far, and I'm looking forward to picking it up next session to see what happens with the Minutemen, and I guess helping them get reestablished, because I think that's really the next main thing, is figuring out what we need to do to get the Minutemen back kind of as a functioning organization that actually goes places and helps people. Obviously that we need some sort of headquarters, so that's why Sanctuary is kind of this first step at doing this. But I imagine our major quest is to reestablish the Minutemen, help reestablish the Minutemen. I imagine we're probably pretty close, at least to, like, I mean, they're not going to be fully reestablished, you know, fully connected to every settlement and all that stuff. But I imagine at least in the very early steps, like we're there. We found them. They have a location they already want to claim, which is Sanctuary. Help them clear it out. There's obviously a lot more to do. Like I imagine next session we'll probably be working on probably first fortifying Sanctuary, making sure all of the bridges are secure, and at least, you know, there's not gonna be just like mole rats and stuff just wandering in, ghouls and whatnot. Probably clearing out any other creatures and whatnot in Sanctuary. We cleared out the robots, obviously, but I imagine there's still, you know, some little critters, some you know, bloat flies, and maybe a mole rat or two here and there, just small things, but nothing like those. Robots were kind of the main concern, probably what took out the raiders that maybe had come by Sanctuary before. So yeah, I think we're in a good spot, and we'll pick up there next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. I'll be back next week continuing this adventure, so subscribe if you want to catch that. And if you want to see one of my recent videos, click in the top right corner of the screen.